Kali ini kita masih di kategori profesional Net Zero Healthy Building Design dan kali ini akan dibawakan oleh tim dari Art Center Complex. Dari namanya aja Art Center the Complex, berarti udah diperhatikan sedetail itu ya. Seperti apa detailnya? Mari kita saksikan bersama-sama yang dimana Art Center Complex terdiri dari 3 orang, yaitu ada Lutfi Landrian, terus ada Tika Hanjani, dan juga ada Aryo Wicaksono. So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome, this is Art Center Complex.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We would like to say thank you for coming in our presentation. It's great to see you all. First of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Tika Hanjani, and this is Lutfi Landrian, and another one is Aryo Wicaksono. And today we'd like to presenting our proposed idea for Art Center Complex in Kota Baru Parahyangan for professional category. Next. And in this presentation, we are going to discuss about the background, then we'll move to the strategy approach and come up with the conclusion. Next, please. And we start with the issue that we owe too much from our future generation as we contribute 30% of carbon emission, and to be responsible toward the environment and to be responsive by questioning, we need to questioning our position today. So a new perspective is a must to achieve net zero healthy and natural ventilation. We need to improve by natural ventilation, daylight artificial uses, visibility to improve indoor air quality with zero energy, which can operate without carbon emission, support from on-site or off-site, or convert renewable energy compensation, and of course comply to the SGDs. And also, and at the middle part, we can say you can see it is our strategy approach, and for that will be explained along the way. And for sure, we say no to BAU, business as usual. Why? Because we want to make it more healthy and more sustainable, not just an over-engineered system, placeless, unhealthy, or uninspired environment. We need an integration. Next, please. Diklik. Boleh diklik. And we are going to show you, this is the natural system, the site potential. In this site, it is located in the west part of Bandung with contour, with hill contour, provide wind velocity and unique terrain. It stimulate, we do simulation for weather for the last 2 years, and we found that the operative temperature average is 23.6 with the humidity is 77.4, and the rainfall is 536 millimeter per year. So we assume that this site is possible to use 100% natural ventilation for operational hour with airspeed is 0.8 meter per second, and wet rate is 104, and the clothing rain is 1, it's like a winter cloth. And we try to optimize the condensation at dawn through utilize it for atmospheric water harvesting. And let us turn to the people. We focus on thermal comfort, and we analyze two system, mechanic and natural, based on ASHRAE 62 and 55, and we've come up that for mechanic one, if they feel comfortable at 23.5 and with PPD 7%, if it is less or more, the PPD will increase from 30 to 35. They just feel slightly cold or slightly warm. And more on the adaptive comfort, surprisingly, it is comfortable for sitting, standing, or walking in the same ambient, which is like 25 or up to 27. And the next one is our natural system, the site potential that we already explained before. This is the site potential, and the next one is And this is at the far end at the picture. As you can see, we compare to operative temperature, which is 22 and 25, and we found that both of scene is they feel neutral at 25 degree, which is also comply with ASHRAE 55. And the next one is we also take the adaptive comfort as we explained before, which validate our hypothesis that it is possible to use 100% natural ventilation as both mechanic and natural feels comfortable in the same range.
As you are all aware, each site is unique, so it's not necessary to be exactly the same. It's formed by wind flow from east, south, west, and north. And it's enabled to create permeable design for water, wind flow, and park for user. It's adjusted with unique terrain and facet formed through wind flow analysis for cross ventilation. Next. Consequently, building mass, we set back 14 meters as green buffer with two axes that connect the building to the street. We raise mass to form open space below the building for Ngariung, a cultural gathering. As adjusted with wind flow, mass from permeable buildings and natural ventilation across the inside. Stack effect for each of the buildings, and we also add for harvesting for internal water cycle and water storage in slope area of the site. And we expected this become a place of recreation for residents and around the location to reduce vehicle carbon emissions. Next. We try to adapt social, cultural, economy, and environment aspect. Ngariung is chosen as local culture where people meet together living life. To support this, we develop and raise the lower part of the building into the pilotis to provide extra space for gathering to live life. Bamboo is important as Sundanese uses a bunch of bamboo in their life. We not only adapted bamboo basic pattern and material for facade, but also adjust wind flow within the space. Why? Because it easily sources around the site, environment friendly, and hopefully able to support the economic aspect to provide circular economy. Next.
Let's take a look at, this is our plans for museum and retail. Next. Next one is our plan for amphitheater and restaurant. Next. Okay. Respond to the site uniqueness, as we can see on the plan view, the way wind infiltrate from four direction into site, it is to validate the possibilities for natural ventilation and thermal comfort, adapted pattern on facade, also minimize temperature difference between indoor and outdoor. Next. Well, this is the section plan. As we can see together, this simulation shows the wind distribution inside the building except museum. The upper floor is a special conditioned space, thus it is not naturally ventilated.
This complex used 40% for building with interactive open green space 5,600 square meter with public transport support. When we compare baseline and post-optimization energy, most of the building reduced its energy usage. For restaurant, 51%, museum, 68.1%, retail, 91.4%, and amphitheater to 60.6%. Next. Passive systems such as optimized natural ventilation system, maximize opening, lighting efficiency, dilating and occupancy sensors, plug load efficiency, and PV panel efficiency employed to decrease energy usage use as baseline and able to comply with ASHRAE 90.1 with 225. But it's not good enough. Thus, we do some optimization.
And of course, after some optimization, for example, next please. And for the PV coverage surface and lighting efficiency combination control system for daylight and occupant control, plug load chains, it reduced to, and we got 51.7, which is not only comply with the ASHRAE, but also the ARC 2030 challenge, and also it's a little bit lower than the standard. And next one. As you can see on the left side, we try to maximize the roof for the PV, the renewable energy, and we can see all of the roof is quite suitable with estimation PV payback is 10%, but we are not satisfied and we try to improve by adding the additional in the middle one at the right side, as you can see. And the difference is we can double up the energy and then the PV, but the payback period is just like slightly different by 7 months. But we found that at some areas it might have an overshadow. That's why, and it will not work really well. That's why we go with the other option. Please next. And we go with option two, which is we reduce the area coverage up to 80% from the selected area. We reduce the unfeasible PV canopy due to shading area. But in the end, we got the same 10 years payback, which is feasible with the baseline, but almost double in the energy offset and PV production, and just slightly less different than 10%. Next.
I'd like now to discuss about daylight. Refer to illumination standard by LEED, it shows only 49% daylight able to penetrate into the space. Cause set the simulation on CIA overcast as we refer to current CBDM, GHI, DNI, and DHI, especially clear sky duration inside. We found that for some area, right one, like auditorium and surface like toilet, kitchen, back office, museum storage, still lack to daylight due to building space requirement for function, safety, privacy. But when we change glass material, there is an improvement with total phasing up to 78%. That's all I have to say about the energy, and let's move to life cycle. Next. Why water treatment? Because we can reuse it as source instead the waste through mimic natural infiltration process. And through surface drainage and stormwater management, we can reduce the operation and maintenance later on. There is bioswale where the rainwater gutter connect directly to the green area. And there is also atmosphere water harvesting due collector as internal water cycle. And to harvest water vapor, tensile membrane structure, and active condenser through thermoelectric like to collect minimal 1.3 liter per meter square per hour. Next.
Okay, freshwater assumption, demand based on building function around 104,000 liter. Let's consider this in more detail when we compare the baseline for green building and the optimization. By changing the fixture, we are able to reduce another 50% with the assumption from peak to low within the range from 73,000 up to 17,000 liter. This demand supported by condensed water from dew collector, rainwater, PDAM, and roof garden, and the wastewater might used for the landscape that need controller. Next. Okay. Here's our water cycle scheme with approx capacity. Fresh water from several sources was metered and filtered before distributed to improve efficiency, installation, and maintenance. We also plan to have water recycle treatment plant and recycle water tank to utilize the gray water before distributed to sewer. Next.
Next, please. Next is the LCA life cycle analysis. We have option with the current area on site. We have 0.23 hectare for tree, 0.68 for bushes, on 0.43 for prairie. And even though we do all those things, we still need upfront embodied carbon. And that's why we choose to plant a tree as a compensation because it is easy, it is cheap, and the most important, it's absorb carbon. And if we can see in the PAU and LCA optimization for PAU, GYP building and landscape need another 9,945 years for balancing, while the optimization, we can cut it down by 50%. And then for the plant, we choose to use Samanea salmon to reduce pollutant as it reduced almost 28 times better than the others. And if you want to, for shading, we go with the flamboyant, and for the slope area next to the river bank, we go with bamboo. This is not the only one. We have another option, but we choose these three because in the long term, another option might annihilate the building structure. Next. And then let's look at the detail between PAU and optimization. If we PAU, we need to compensate around 3,200 hectares for tree for carbon compensation. But if we optimize it, we can cut it down by 50%. Next.
Next. Yeah. Right, if I can just sum up the main points, some of strategy approach we've covered strategy would start with respect natural system, people, place, energy, life cycle, and process itself through the art center complex to meet the demands of outdoor activities and educate residents to lessen commuting frequency. Next. In conclusion, as mentioned by Ms. van der Rohe, we should attempt to bring nature building and human being together in higher unity to achieve net zero healthy building. Well, thank you for your kind attention to join the presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, may all those we have shares be beneficial for all of us. Thank you.